Hello, and welcome back to Making Up the Magic. My name is Eva, and yes, this is my channel, and it's a real channel. I know, right? I told you I'm going to be serving a mega 80s. Not MAGA, mega, okay? Today, I'm going to be geeking out. Makeup geek that I am. I love the 80s, and I love this look. This look is, I think, the first catfish look ever that was broadcast on television. Sure, there were the drag queens doing their wonderful stuff, but to most people, this is the first time they saw real, intense 80s makeup. The kind that really turns you into a gorgeous, gorgeous lady. No, a goddess. Let's face it. You kind of look like a vampire goddess, fashion goddess. No more lady. Ladies be gone. We are goddesses. Today, I'm really, really excited because the 80s is my era. I was born in the late 70s and I kind of grew up. So a lot of the things that I saw in the 80s has huge influence on me without me even realizing that they were influencing me. And today we are going to dive, before we dive into the makeup, this wonderful makeup, that will be probably another video because I know got a lot of subscribers because of my Biba makeup. And I want to welcome you to all of you who subscribed wanting more of this. And I'm giving you more of this. But I'm also a crazy kind of witch lady who does all kinds of stuff. But I'm back to my roots today. And I want to thank you all who subscribed and who watched and who commented. Thank you so much. You really made my summer and you made me realize what my talents were and where I needed to be working on myself. So kudos to you. Thank you so much. So much. Now, like I said, before we dive into this makeup, we are going to do a little time machine dance. We're going to go back to the early 80s, just right before this gorgeousness hit the screen. Okay? So bear with me. Let's time travel. In 1980, somewhere in 1980, we had Fame. I Want to Dance, or I Want to Live Forever. I'd rather dance forever. Live forever is that kind of long. So the dance movie Fame made its way into our hearts in the 80s. And in May of 1980, Pac Man by Toru Iwatani was unleashed at the arcades. And people just couldn't get enough of Pac Man. And Miss Pac Man and Baby Pac Man and Uncle Pac Man. And you get my drift. In November of 1980, Brooke Shields gets banned. I guess she gets banned from TV with her Nothing Comes Between Me and My Calvins. So yeah, she says she didn't know what she was doing. She was innocent. What the hell do I know? I don't know anything. Thank you, Brooke, though. Thank you, Brooke Shields, for existing. Now my favorite, now in January 1981, Dynasty. Dynasty. A favorite of the 80s. This show ran for the whole 80s with Joan Collins at its head. And yes, Linda Evans, I love you too. But Joan, she made the show. Who doesn't love a good bitch, right? I'm looking in the room and there's no one here with me. And now in August of 1981, you also had MTV that launched. And surprisingly, our friend Robert Palmer was part of that first 2 hours of MTV singing some very weird, I guess, pop, new romantic, edgy song. I guess that was before he found his groove. It's okay. We all make mistakes. I'm be the first one to make a mistake. 1982, Michael Jackson released the album Thriller. But most importantly, in 1983, Michael Jackson released the video to Thriller. And you have no idea the influence, the people, you know. I never saw anyone wearing makeup like Boy George, but that jacket from that video, I mean, I saw so many people. It was ripped off so many times. I think it was the first viral, not the first, but one of those viral items of the 80s that everyone copied and became iconic. So what can I say? Thank you, Michael Jackson, for Thriller. Love that. In September 83, we got Karma Chameleon from the Culture Club. And in 1984, Madonna released Like a Virgin. I mean, honestly, like a virgin. I mean, even if she wasn't a virgin, it doesn't really matter because that album really changed the 80s in incredible ways for women and gays and all people who were queer. And in January of 1984, we got the first Apple computer. Yes, Apple made its little baby, the Macintosh. I think that's what it was called. It was this beautiful, cute cube, very different, all-in-one tiny screen with a mouse. Yes, they invented the mouse. I mean, not Mickey Mouse, but they put a mouse on a computer. The artist behind this look and the look in the video is Mr. Martin Pretorius, and he's from South Africa. Now, there's a few interviews with him on the internet, and he doesn't say much about how he got there, his inspirations, and how he became the giant, the amazing artist that he became. Now, like a lot of makeup artists pre-80s, he became first a hairdresser. There's a lot of famous makeup artists that started in hair first, and one of them is Val Garland, and many other makeup artists started doing hair first, and they had to choose. Some didn't choose, though. I'm looking at you, Rick Gillette. I'll have to do a show about you one day. Now, Martin was originally from South Africa, and he decided to move to London to see how he would measure up to those fashion bitches in London. You know what I'm talking about if you've ever worked in fashion. He was very lucky, very, very lucky. He quickly started to work with a famous, amazingly amazing woman, Annie Lennox from Eurythmics. And not only did he get to work with Annie Lennox, he also got to work with the one and only Siouxsie Sioux. How can one makeup artist end up working with the two most iconic pop stars, rock singers of the 80s? I have no idea, but he managed to do it. And that's probably because he was very, very talented. So let's start with Love is a Stranger. You might not be aware of the Eurythmics. You might not know anything, but I'm here to teach you something. So Love is a Stranger is the first video where Annie Lennox kind of becomes Annie Lennox. I know there's another video before that one, but this is the video where she unleashes the marvel, the wonderfulness that is Annie Lennox. And she actually gets to play Chameleon. She gets to play 3 different looks that Martin does the makeup on. And the first look is a very kind of Dynasty-like inspired look. And the second one is this very iconic androgynous look that she's going to be remembered for and kind of becomes her central career kind of, I guess, persona, if you want to call it that, because her persona is really this androgynous lady of the 80s. The TV station released the video. People were calling in because they were confused. I mean, they were probably bothered and hot, but they were confused. They're like, should I be attracted to this person or not? Is this a woman? Is this not a woman? Very funny. And I mean, if I was Annie, I'd do the same thing. I mean, controversy is controversy, and it's amazing. We love controversy. Well, you know, I guess it's kind of a marketing strategy that works even today. I mean, put a lot of makeup on and look ambiguous, and people love you. Go figure. Now, right after Love is a Stranger, they released Sweet Dreams Are Made of These, and this kind of makeup look appears on Annie, it kind of solidifies Martin's style because he's kind of sort of going for this intense, new romantic, but glamorous version of the look. So if you know anything about new romantics, I'm going to put up some pictures here just to give you an idea. And yes, Boy George is part of the new romantics. So that's going to be a separate video, but just so you can get a feel for the influence that style had on Martin Pretorius's work, especially when he does Pop Stars for TV. Yeah, for MTV. There was already other shows out there that did music videos or sort of live fake performances, lip-synced performances. That was Top of the Pops. And then every country kind of had their own little wonderful show about, the biggest pop songs that were rocking the radio. And there you go. Martin does those videos for Annie Lennox, for Siouxsie, and he gets noticed. Because on MTV is kind of like a fashion magazine. Now, we had fashion magazines before, but they were more elegant, more subdued. You didn't kind of get to have the sort of pop star quality that we're used to today. We're used to seeing musicians give a lot and give more than what you see on the runway. But back then, you only had magazines. And then Madonna appears with her quirky looks, and Michael Jackson has his moment with his leather jacket. It kind of turns fashion into something more interesting. And by mixing movies, music, and fashion and style and makeup, you kind of create the perfect pop culture candy for teenagers who are looking for ideas, who are looking for something exciting, to turn them on more than a fashion magazine, which is made to sell clothes. They're looking for substance, for style, for panache. And gosh darn, the 80s had so much of that. You wouldn't believe. Now, David Palmer is not immune to that. I mean, he hangs around in London. He knows the new romantics. He just doesn't know how to make that work for him. But he goes rock and roll, and good for him, because really it suits him amazingly well. And he hires not only Martin Pretorius, but he hires a guy who's a photographer, and not just any other photographer. He's one of the top 3 photographers in London that kind of started the Youthquake. And that photographer is Terence Donovan. And he's among the pantheon of the 2 other photographers, David Bailey and Duffy. Yes, Brian Duffy. But now Terence Donovan is looking to do something a little bit more fashion. And they get a bunch of girls together and apply I call it the Warhol principle. Many of the same creates beauty. So get 5, 6, 10 girls all done with the same kind of makeup, with the same kind of dress, and there you got your recipe for, success. I love success, don't you? Now, the wonderful thing about this makeup is it's not necessarily revolutionary in any sense of the way, because Joan Collins had already pioneered this look at the beginning of the 80s when Dynasty started airing, and people already saw this sort of makeup. And Joan herself, when she was asked where she got the inspiration for the makeup, she said it was from Paris Fashion Week, the couture weeks. So she was going to see those Paris Fashion Weeks, attending them, and then right after that, she got hired to do the wonderful show, Dynasty, which will live on forever in my heart. And thank you, Joan. Now, beyond that, there was also Morgan Fairchild, who was hawking a very similar kind of look and becoming very popular on daytime TV. This wasn't necessarily new in any way. And even this is a cover of a magazine that happened at the beginning of the 80s. But what Martin did, the genius of Martin, of what he managed to do, was to kind of simplify the look. And I think also because it was moving images, and he managed to make the makeup work for the video camera, which a lot of makeup artists weren't familiar with how it worked, because photography is one thing and video is another thing. And when I say video, of course, back then I mean film cameras. The makeup he did was just brilliant because he managed to capture the drama while channeling the glamour. And all these girls, they just look fabulous. And he said himself, the inspiration behind the look was also Donovan, the photographer, because he just loved girls with lots of black eye makeup and red lips. So I guess everything in life, or every creation, is kind of a coming together of many different elements. And for this video, and because there were 3 different videos for Robert Palmer, 2 of them were released in 1986, which Addicted to Love is the middle one. And there was another one released in 1988. And all these videos kind of work on the same concept, which is brilliant because Robert could have changed. He could have decided to be a flaky guy and just, no. He knew what made him popular was hot girls in hot dresses pretend playing instruments with absolutely amazing makeup. There you go. Enough said. Now, what am I going to do? I'm going to show you how to achieve this look, or at least you can have a gander at how I got to this place and maybe decide one day if you ever want to look like this. I mean, you don't have to. I won't be offended. But I know I look fabulous in this. And, you know, in a way, I have to thank Martin Pretorius, Terrence Donovan, the girls, Robert Palmer, for bringing this together, because this had a huge influence on me as a makeup artist. And unfortunately, not unfortunately, there's plenty of people on here who have done how-tos on achieving this makeup. And bless all their hearts. And the most recent one happened while I was planning to do this video, but I couldn't because I was so busy to film this. And it's Sam Chapman from Real Techniques. She did her own modern reinterpretation of this look. So I hope you enjoy all of the videos online that show you how to recreate this look. I'm not saying mine will be better than any other person's interpretation, because everything's just an interpretation. Okay, this is history, but it's not that deep. Okay, it's skin deep. Makeup is skin deep, and I love makeup. Oh my god, I'm feeling very dramatic with this makeup. Maybe I should do this for every show, just be dramatic. Suits me really well. And I hope you enjoyed also the history of the 80s, the fabulousness of it all. And don't forget, exaggerate, have fun, enjoy yourself, because that's the spirit of makeup.